Hello. I want to discuss today with you defining moments. That moment in time that you either was so positive you relive it over and over, or is so negative that you cannot get unstuck from it. Now, let me give you two examples so you understand what I'm talking about. The defining moment that was positive is that I'm from a very small town. So, when I go back home, inevitably, one of the high school football players is sitting in one of the bars, reliving throwing the winning touchdown at homecoming game or whatever. And you just want to look at him and say, that was 40 years ago. But he's stuck in that moment because that was his moment of joy, of greatness. Also, and this is way too many of us, get stuck in that moment of trauma, of tragedy. It could be divorce. It could be the passing of a child, which has got to be the worst. It could be the passing of your parents, of your mother, your father, your best friend. It could be trauma from your childhood. It could be abuse. It could be the fact that you've always kind of been a chubby child. I was always a chubby child. So I got harassed a lot by my mother about weight because she really had weight issues. She was very thin and wanted the world to be thin. It's that moment that something happens to you and it defines you. And moving forward, your life is just kind of vanilla. It's just kind of blah. It's just reliving the same day kind of over and over. You have some good days, you have some bad days. But when you look back over your life, it's just putting that one step in front of another. You get up in the morning, you eat the same breakfast, you say the same things to your husband and children, you go to your job, you do the same stuff, you come home, it's rinse, repeat, shampoo, rinse, and repeat over and over and over again. And then you look at somebody that and you think their life is so joyful. They're always so happy in there. They're going on vacation and exotic adventures. And, they always have a large cadre of friends. When they walk into the room, everybody's kind of like that cheer show. Hi, Norm. Everybody's like, hi, how are you? Because they radiate joy. They radiate hope. They radiate love because they figured it out. And by that, I mean, they figured out how to get unstuck from that moment, how to look back at that moment and put it in perspective to find understanding. And sometimes when you have trauma or passing of a loved one, it's hard to find rhyme or reason. I understand that. And sometimes you just kind of have to say, well, it was awful. It was horrible. And I wish I could figure it out, but I guess it was within, and we always hear this, God's plan. It was planned for your life, but you've got to move forward because being stuck in that moment is just punishing you. You're just hurting yourself by sitting there and reliving the same experience over and over and trying to think of how you could have stopped it or how you could have prevented it. You couldn't have. That's the thing. There's nothing you could have done because that was the path you were meant to walk. But you weren't meant to be stuck in that moment. I love Ed Milet. I follow his podcast. And he was talking, when he said this, it resonated with my soul. I knew it to be truth. He said that in his mind, when we die, we go to wherever we go. And I picture we go to this great hall for a celebration. And God comes up and shows you the video of your life. But it's the video of your life that you were supposed to live. And at the end, you sit there and say, well, I kind of lived it, or I halfway lived it, or well, didn't make it all the way, whatever, and you move forward. I want to sit there and watch that movie and say, you know what? I saw your roadmap. I read your signs. Some signs took a little longer than others, but I am the exact person I was meant to be because I've learned how to heal. I've learned how to put meaning to what's happened. I've learned how to recognize my shadows, recognize these blocks, and know what they look like, and then release them, reframe them and release them, let them go. They don't serve you any longer. The minute you see a limiting belief, they no longer serve you. That's why you're being shown that belief, because it's not helping you any longer. It's holding you back. And then you reclaim your life. You reclaim your power. You reclaim your inner warrior, your divine feminine goddess, to just keep going. Sure, you're going to be shown more limiting beliefs and more shadows. And that's how life is. I've been healing shadows for 20 years. Well, that's not true. 10 years. I have been studying personal development since Tony Robbins' first book came out. And I just looked it up to see it's actually 30 years ago this year that his first book, Awaken a Giant Within, came out. That book awoke a giant within me. Now, 30 years later, I'm still healing and still figuring things out, but that was my path to walk. Because if I wouldn't have taken 30 years, and if I wouldn't have been, homeless and broke and a drunk, drinking too much and doing everything I could to sabotage my life, I wouldn't be here where I am now, because that was the plan. And the plan is, here I sit here now looking at you saying, I have a proven strategy. I can show you how to heal these shadows. I find a shadow now, and I don't tell you this to bribe. I don't tell you this to brag. I tell you this to show you, to show you proof that I found a shadow 2 weeks ago that was like, holy moly. I mean, it was like, oh man. And I got poochy. 2 weeks later, baby, it is healed and gone, because I know how to do it. I know the steps. Now, 10 years ago, was it that easy? No, 10 years ago took me a long time, because I didn't know the proven formula that works for me. And that's why I offer a 7-week online course that actually starts on September 20th. Every week, videos and workbooks drop that will help you remove your limiting beliefs, help get you unstuck, to get your life off repeat. I want you not to get up every morning and think, oh, I got to go to work. I got to do this. I want you to get up in the morning and say, yeah, baby, I'm owning this day. You're going to be that person that people are going to be like, man, why? Look at all the exotic vacations she goes on. Look at all her friends. Look at her clothes. Look at how thin she is. Look at whatever you're trying to change. Because when you figure out your limiting beliefs, change becomes easy. Transforming your life becomes easy. Being joyful is easy. Having hope is easy. Having desire is easy, because you figured out that moment you're stuck in. And I hope this makes sense to you. I hope light bulbs are going off like crazy. We're like, oh, you mean that moment that I keep going back to? I mean, I spent years in my abuse. I mean, forget the abuser. I abused myself for years. Whether it was I couldn't forgive myself, I blamed myself. When at the end of the day, first of all, I was too young to blame myself. And second of all, it was the reason. It took me to my purpose of helping women transform their lives, my purpose to help women just be happy, just be you, be the person you're meant to be the you that, when you're laying in bed at night, and you're dreaming and you're thinking, oh man, I wish I could be in Bermuda right now on the beach in a really cute bathing suit, having, a cabana guy bringing my stuff to me, on the phone, dealing with my office because I run a successful business. I checked my bank account this morning. I had $3 million in the bank account. I'm next to the man I love or the woman I love. And then you wake up and think, I could never do that. Yes, you can. Because if you can dream it, you can be it. And I can help you get there. So let's get to work. If you're interested, check out my website, Karen Barno, and check out my 7-week online course, or my free Facebook group, Shadow Work and You. And let's get to work. Let's end 2021 on an extremely happy note. Let's end 2021 with you going full in on your passion and purpose. Hope this helped you guys. If it did, please write comments below. If there's anything I can do to serve you, please reach out to me, direct message me, email me, whatever it takes, because I am here to serve. I am here to help everybody know what it's like to be on the rock bottom bathroom floor sobbing to ecstatically happy and being in control of your life. So if you're ready, let's go. Here's to you finding your blue rose.